Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, welcome to the Gonzo Ewok channel with me, Ewok,
and me, Gonzo,
for another episode of Geordie Space Program.
Did you like how I did that? That was in the opera singer style.
It was very good. I've never heard an opera singer sing quite like that. But then again, I'm an old culture. I'm an uncultured couth who's never been to the opera.
Well, if you went to the opera, you'd know that was pitch perfect.
Fair enough. I shall have to take your word for it, as I have no other frame of reference.
In the last episode, we managed to put something up into space, and then we grasped around wildly looking for Eve's shiny purple face.
And we got it.
Yes.
We currently have an intercept manoeuvre with Eve, and we're going to nip back to the ship and just continue where we left off.
Tiny little burn, we'll put we're right.
6-second burn. The manoeuvre node should still be there. Yep, there's the manoeuvre.
Thank God, otherwise...
6-second burn, and it puts us within only 49,000 kilometres.
That's not... Well, it's not ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. We could tweak.
Get with it. Get with the intercept, and then we'll worry about what we're doing.
No, this is the best time to do your adjustments. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Or do we? Don't. No.
Oh, that's crazy, but
you know what? I'm going to go for that.
Yeah, I quite like that. Yeah, it's mental.
We've got loads of fuel.
That's actually less Delta V to do that as well. Ever so slightly.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're at about 106, 107 metres per second we needed, and we're only 102 here.
Fair enough. That's pretty good.
I'm
not going to complain about that.
Just double check. We're not going to burn anywhere near into the face of Kerbal, are we? Like, I know we're out of it by some sizable margin. But
no, I mean, our first encounters with Eve. Although, what we could do is pop into Eve and just have a look at where that brings us. So, yeah. I mean, the chances of getting an intercept with Gilly, because Gilly's tiny, are tiny. But yeah, that's going to swing us past Eve. We're going to be going very, very fast, so it's going to be quite a long, slow down burn.
The chances of anything coming from Juna are 1,000,000 to 1, but still they come.
But I'm going with Juna. And the chances of something coming from Juna are all the more likely now that there is a Kerbal presence there.
I was quoting War of the Worlds.
Well, you are paraphrasing War of the Worlds.
No,
if you want to be arsey about it.
Word for word, War of the Worlds. It's always been pointed out, and they're like, why the hell is he singing about Juna?
Yeah. In fact, it was...
Juna?
It was very prophetic of Kerbal Space Program. Unless Kerbal Space Program and that squad just, heard the song and thought, yeah, we're going to finish that.
Which is more likely considering the game's been made for like the last 4 or 5 years, and War of the Worlds was wrote in 1898. It's like 117-year-old at this point. Anyway,
it wasn't written that long ago.
It was 18. I'll get it off my shelf. I've got one on the shelf here.
An original first edition 1898 War of the Worlds.
No, it's not. I'm not saying it's original first edition, but I have got it saying first published 1898 Orson Welles. No, was it Orson Welles? H.G. Wells. There we go. Jesus. Okay, I can't find it. I'm coming back.
It wasn't.
It was?
It wasn't.
It was. I found it. Right, now you're for it. Hang on. Look, do you agree? War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells.
I'm seeing a book that says War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells.
What does that say? Read it out. Read it out for the viewers.
It says first published 1898.
By H.G. Wells. Yes, there we go. You feel bad now, don't you? You didn't think that was going to happen.
I didn't think that was going to happen. However, the universe does change itself whenever I decide on something.
We'll see what happens in the finished cut of the video. Do you know what? This has got one of my most favourite lines from any book in here. I'll paraphrase this one.
Incidentally, we've got a 2 minute 20-second burn by the time we get there.
Language in 1898 was slightly different language nowadays, and he talks about he's having an argument with his wife and she goes down the stairs and then he follows after her. And I think what H.G. Wells meant to say was that he was like gesticulating and kind of very animated about the argument that we're having as he comes down the stairs. And he refers to him as ejaculating wildly down the stairs behind his wife. And I just love this idea of just this guy spraying like a fire hose, just marching down the stairs as his wife stomps off in front of him. But I first read most of that in an afternoon, sitting in an incredibly hot bath, and I nearly drowned when I read that part.
It is amazing how like some language that can be deemed acceptable in one age is totally inappropriate in another. Have you read H.P. Lovecraft's The Rats in the Walls?
I don't know. I've read bits of it.
I believe it was The Rats in the Walls. It's the one that's got the cat. The protagonist has a cat. And it has a very interesting name.
N-word.
Yeah, can you remember what the cat's name was?
N-word.
Go on, say it.
I'm not saying it.
It's just a cat's name.
I don't want to say it. It's a very bad word. We're not saying that word on this channel.
Just a cat's name.
Two white gamer boys playing games on the internet aren't saying that word. I know it's just the cat's name, and I know that at the time that was just the name of the cat. I'd imagine it was probably a black cat, and I imagine the name came from somewhere.
H.P. Lovecraft was horrendously racist.
Yeah.
The depiction of black people in some of his books was awful. What I do find quite interesting is that he was an outspoken anti-Semite, but he married a Jewish woman. Not that I know more about H.P. Lovecraft than I should.
No, but you've read a lot of his books.
Well, I have his complete works, which is all right. He's not really all he was cracked up to be be perfectly honest.
I've read a couple of his stories, and I don't mind it. I've read. Who was the guy that wrote like a lot of stuff in the same sort of style as him years? It's not Clive Barker. What the hell do you call him?
I don't know.
He wrote all the. You read a few of them. More recently, yeah, there was a guy and he writes in very much the same sort of style and kind of adopts bits of like Cthulhu mythos. What the hell's that guy's name?
Oh, he does not write in the same style. He doesn't write well. No. I liked them when I was younger, and in my older years, I've kind of fallen out of love with them. It's Brian Lumley.
Lumley, that's it.
He wrote the Necroscope series. You know what, to be honest, I can still read the Necroscope series and enjoy the story and like it, but he's not a good writer. I mean, this is me being pretentious as someone who writes for a living, but he seems to have confused the exclamation mark with the full with the full stop.
That adds excitement.
It does when it's used sparingly, but when every sentence ends with an exclamation mark, you're exhausted after page one. I just can't take the excitement anymore. No, he's not a particularly good writer, but I like the Necroscope series. He did some stuff around like the Cthulhu mythos, and he did a series of short stories about a fella called Titus Crow.
Oh yeah, I've read one or two of them. There was a guy I used to work with, lent us a couple of them. There was one about a clock.
Yep, that's Titus Crow.
Yeah. There was a clock. Got it somehow in the clock, and then something weird happened.
Yeah, I think all three. Is there three? It's been a long time since I read them, but I think they're all sort of centered around the clock. I don't remember much about them, to be honest.
It was alright.
The fact that they were quite forgettable sort of speaks volumes, really. I really did enjoy them when I was younger, and I sort of fell out of love with these works.
It happens though when you're a teenager and reading stuff, and it captures your imagination, doesn't it? You go back to it as an adult. Jesus.
It had boobies and willies in it as well. So
just drawn in the margins.
She-males again.
Willies in the margin.
No, so it was definitely very exciting for a young lad.
Reading about willies.
Reading about willies.
How you spent your formative years, is that?
And that's
reading about willies.
Reading about willies.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Live literature, as it happens on the Consory Book channel. I'm sure people who
live
scan YouTube to look for videos of Geordie's playing Kerbal Space Program. Really, what they always also look for is literature debate about.
Have you actually been watching what's happening on the screen?
I haven't got a clue, mate. I've just been having a
We're in orbit around Eve now.
Hey!
We need to start thinking about coming in and landing.
Right.
Do you have any idea how far Eve's atmosphere extends?
Not a clue.
I've never landed on Eve since thermodynamics and since thermals and aerodynamics were introduced. So I'm really not sure how that's going to go.
Re-entry? No. I mean,
I think it's important.
They're on the side of caution.
I think it's important that we go for a safe aero brake manoeuvre. So I'm going to bring it down to 100,000 meters.
Yeah.
And see what happens when we sort of skim at 100,000 meters.
See if it does anything. Yeah, I agree.
See if we'll capture the atmosphere. We probably will, because Kerbin's atmosphere goes to 70,000 and Eve's a much larger body.
If it's a denser atmosphere, it might be a bit lower down. Is that science? If
No,
the atmosphere
no.
is thicker, the pressure it's
No.
condensed, it's pushed down.
The atmosphere will be denser lower down, but it will extend further still.
Oh, are you sure? Doesn't that just mean it's got a lot of atmosphere? If it's under pressure, pressure suggests it's pushed down, it's pushed towards the planet.
I'm finding it very hard to explain this, but I don't think so. Everything's got a gravitational pull, and the gravitational pull gets weaker with time. So there's always going to be an amount on the outskirts that's being loosely affected by the gravitational pull. You know what I mean?
Pushed down.
Shut up.
It'd be pushed down. Pushed high pressure.
It doesn't work like that.
Where there's pressure, there's push downedness.
It doesn't work like
does work
that.
like that.
No, the pressure. Shut up.
If it's under pressure, it can't
Dun,
wisp
dun,
off.
dun, 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 dun.
Exactly, but it can't be all wispy if it's being pushed down. Pressure. It's quite warm down there as well.
Have you ever heard MC Hammer's defence of did Can't Touch This rip off?
No, it was
Not MC
wasn't
Hammer,
MC Hammer, it was
Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice, that's
Aye.
right. Yeah, he was questioned on the radio, and they said, "Did you not just like rip off the riff from Queen's Under Pressure?" And he went, "No, it's completely different. Queen's Under Pressure goes do 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 do, whereas my song goes dum 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 da da dum dum."
Yeah, he started doing a property program, Vanilla Ice. And I think he got himself into a little bit of trouble.
I know this. I've been
Careful,
told this.
libel is a thing.
Are we in atmosphere? I've got no idea. So Vanilla Ice.
I'd bring it down to maybe 80. See what happens at 80. Bring
Yeah,
the other side down to 80. Slow it down.
We're going to have to do another. So yeah, Vanilla Ice. On the success of Can't Touch This, thought he was going to be hugely, wildly successful, and that Vanilla Ice fever would never end. And he spent all the money he made on the records. He bought loads and loads of properties.
That's sensible.
And then it just totally flopped. His career totally flopped. Ooh!
Right, well, we're definitely coming in now, aren't we?
So his career kind of tanked after that. He was a one-hit wonder. He never really had anything again. So he took all those properties that he bought and he did some of them up and sold them when he started running out of money. So he invested a little bit of money into making them better and sold them. Flipped them and made a profit. And then continued in much the same vein, and apparently he's now a very successful property developer.
Yeah,
And
there was a program on TV that did some sort of.
I haven't seen the program,
Sort of
but yeah,
real-world
I've heard that he did a kind of like reality show about his escapades as a property developer. Oh, we're in atmosphere, so let's push this bad boy to retrograde. Make sure we're coming in the right way.
You should spin it around really quickly and fire your engines off, so we've just got the heat shield left. Yeah, well, we can do that as well.
We don't just want the heat shield left.
You got a bit warm there for a second.
I did, yeah.
Did you see that?
We definitely do not just want the heat shield left, because we don't know if this is going to be enough to really get us captured.
The solar panels, can we bring a couple of them in?
We'll bring 2 in, eh?
Yeah, bring 2 in because we'll need them when we touch down.
But we'll leave 2 out because we don't want to run out of batteries.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I don't know why, but it's also reminded me of Jean-Claude Van Damme, and this is a total anecdote. I've only heard this from somebody else.
He cleans his John Thomas before he goes to the toilet.
No, it's appropriate to this because it's about space. And I was told by someone who claims to have heard Jean-Claude Van Damme on a radio show, and he was asked about gravity. This is already seeming unlikely to me. Why would they ask Jean-Claude Van Damme? No, they didn't ask him about it. He volunteered the information. He said it wasn't gravity, it was air. He said, I've been thinking a lot about air lately.
It sounds like something you would say.
I've been thinking a lot about air lately. I mean, it's incredible. Just imagine if we didn't have any air. Everything would just float up into space.
God bless that kickboxing moron.
I'll tell you what, I love them in the Coors adverts.
Oh, we're getting warm.
I watched those Coors adverts.
Very hot. Very fast.
You know the ones I'm talking about? Ice cold refreshment. And I watch them and I think... has Jean-Claude Van Damme been given a mullet wig for those adverts, or is he genuinely rocking a mullet these days?
I think he'd probably rock a mullet.
I think if anyone would be rocking a mullet, it would be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Those bits are getting a bit hot.
Yeah, I'm pulling them in now. I also... Yeah, we're not coming back around again. I'm going to spin, eject, and spin.
Well, all parts are very warm now. Okay.
I once picked up a...
Bring up the resources. I want to see what this does to the ablator. I've never been here since...
it could just devour it.
Yeah.
I once picked up a video, a DVD in HMV called JCVD. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
The Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, and it had a tag on it or something, and it was...
This is shit. Don't buy it. Whatever you do, don't buy this.
If anyone hasn't heard of the movie, it's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. He plays himself. I haven't seen the movie, which shows you how much the DVD cover gripped me when I picked it up at HMV many years ago. But he plays himself, and he gets embroiled in some sort of desperate situation and uses his martial arts and kick-ass stuff to get himself out of it and save the day. But the gimmick is that he's playing himself, and not his usual gimmick that he's playing twins or clones or whatever. 3 movies I can think of where he played twins or clones.
Do you think they paid him twice for that, for playing like Jimmy and Bobby?
But yeah, I picked up the cover and it said, "Down on his luck and with nowhere to turn, Jean-Claude Van Damme," and I thought, this is a really honest marketing. As they're going to say, has made this movie.
As a last-ditch attempt to save his career and pay for his house.
But yeah, I can't even remember what the end line was. I've just got the line that was in my head.
You know what? He's a proper little Belgian nutter, but I do quite like him.
I do like him as well.
I do like a good nutter.
As much as I've got a soft spot for sci-fi movies, bad sci-fi movies, Chronicles of Riddick, I love that movie. It's fucking terrible, but I love it. I've also got a soft spot for like cheesy action movies.
Action flicks. Totally.
I love Steven Seagal movies. They're so bad.
Don't like him one little iota.
My stepdad had a collection of Steven Seagal movies.
Does make some good films. During my student days, we would sit down and we would watch Under Siege 2 or 3 times off the bat instead of going to lectures, and we'd be happy with that decision.
Oh, look at that.
But yeah, he's made some quarters.
Oh, we're going to land in the ocean. I forgot there was ocean on Eve, and I forgot to think about where we were going to land.
I figured it's just got to touch down and get science.
To be honest, now
do its thing.
We wouldn't have been able to predict where we were going to land, given the...
When we're coming down the
aerodynamics.
contract, can we get it from the surface, or do we need space around? Just double check.
Tits!
Will this not count?
No, we're in the atmosphere.
Space around. Oh, shite.
We've just duffed the contract up.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It's alright, the contract goes on forever, so it'll send a little probe eventually. Or when we eventually send a manned mission. If you think about how much fuel we had, we might have been able to duck, get an encounter, and come back. I'm thinking that maybe the next thing we'll be shooting for is not a manned landing anywhere, but a manned flyby.
You reckon?
Then again, we also need to rescue Merg Kerbin, rescue
Bob,
and replace the science lab. So we can just add it to
that
the list.
list of chores is growing astronomically. Right, we have made it through.
We have, it appears.
I mean, if
And it actually looks like we're landing on land. Yeah, we are. We're gonna. Oh well, it's touch and go actually, because we're landing on the coast, but
next to a puddle.
There's lakes and stuff. I think we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's a real shame. I got so wrapped up in the banter that I totally missed that we needed to get the
Just
science
suddenly
data from
dawned
around.
on us. That's very, very stupid. People will probably be quite angry about that. I'm a bit angry about that.
I wouldn't worry about it.
We're too busy.
We've still got plenty of cash.
This is true. We don't want to get silly with the cash. We don't want to get complacent. But you know what? We've worked really hard for this cash. Why can't we just fritter a little bit away on some follies talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme?
You know what? We might have cocked up, but at the end of the day, in the last few missions that we've run, we've got a probe on Juna. We built a kick-ass science station with admittedly a fatal flaw.
Yeah, it was kick-ass until the point
It got us 1,000
that it's hungry
times
arsed.
before it hungry arsed itself.
That's quite nice. We should spend that at the end of
But
the end of this one.
a probe on Eve as well. We've hit our 2 closest neighbours and landed on them. He says optimistically. I noticed the drogue chute hasn't deployed yet, but Eve's got a really thick atmosphere, so I don't think we're going to have any problem landing here
be
with the
fine.
chute.
Nah,
The drogue chute was more for Juna, to be honest. You could use your catchphrase now if you wanted.
Just having a puff on the electric fag. Put the legs out.
Bosh.
There we are. How are we doing for the old Letty?
The old Letty situation is
hunky-dory. Oodles. That's fine.
Yeah, it's well stocked with electricity. Once again, typical Ewok over-engineering. I'd rather have 10 times more of what I need than not enough.
Makes sense. No, I can deal with that.
I think we're going to afford a little time more.
Aye. I'll let you. Go on. Get yourself some time more. Go on, treat yourself. What? I just had a horrible image there, the drogue chute coming off and everything there detaching.
If the drogue chute flies off, we have 4 more chutes.
Yeah, that's why I suddenly stopped the silent scream that was building in my throat.
Of course, as long as the drogue chute doesn't pull. Well, you know what am I doing? We're flying. We should be getting flying data.
It's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
Since we forgot to get space data.
We can transmit that, can't we? Or we're going to do it all as a one when we get down.
I'll wait till we land and then.
Right, yeah, that's good logic. Drogue shoots out, nothing's broken.
And there's the main chutes.
4 parachutes on Eve and a drogue on top is overkill.
It is overkill.
We'll just be hovering forever.
It is pretty. It's nice that we came down next to this little lake. It gives us something
Lovely.
pretty to look at when
Yeah,
we
yeah.
come back from it. So this is actually the polar region, apparently.
Really? Oh yeah, we're on the bottom. Look at that. Bottom of Eve.
So,
Eve's
yeah.
bottom. Eve's lovely
So
bottom.
this is Eve's south pole. It looks quite temperate, doesn't it?
Not bad. Certainly not icy. I mean, it's I imagine incredibly hot here.
What did the data say?
With
It
the
said
pressure.
you observe the goo. Oh, that's a shame. We'll see what the science base is when we land it.
If you notice, the goo canisters aren't cooling down, and is that the batteries underneath? Oh no, it's the probe core itself isn't cooling down.
They'll cool down eventually.
Yeah, but it's hot here. It's holding the temperature. We're just hovering. Basically, we're coming down less than 3 meters a second, and they're not cooling down. It's hot
That's
here.
a beautiful sun, isn't it? Look at the way it's hitting. It's like almost kissing the atmosphere and causing this wonderful sort of bloom effect.
If only Eve had trees, and then we could see some lovely god rays coming through the leaves. Wouldn't that be nice?
That's magnificent with the way the pinks merge with the purples and then the darker sort of cyan colour up at the top.
It looks like the head and shoulders of God, his or her or itself, staring down upon our warm little capsule.
It does a little bit, doesn't it? It does have a kind of anthropomorphic vibe going on.
Like if
about
you're on
it.
Facebook and you haven't set yourself a profile picture.
And that is the profile picture of God.
With massive arms stretching out across the entire
I was
horizon.
thinking to myself, with just massive arms, just holding the whole planet of Eve in his grasp.
This is mine. Like that.
That's magnificent.
It is. It's spectacular.
Oh, and we're slightly behind the hill, so we're never going to be able to enjoy the view of that lake again.
Bye, lake.
We will if we
The ground looks a bit
zoom out.
Doom, doesn't it? Like Doom texture. Jeez. Ah, that's nice. Dry landing.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Bosh. Ooh.
Off rapid texture change.
It's very nice. Very nice, Eve. I do like its purple hue. But when you're close, it is a bit sort of Doom texture. Look at that underfoot. Aye.
Let's transmit some science. See what we'll get.
Yep.
So all our
Panels.
panels out.
That's it. Well, we're here.
We made it.
It's a shame we couldn't fulfil all the contract because we were too busy going on about Jean-Claude Van
Jean-Claude
Damme's
Van
mullet
Damme.
and his stance on air. but we're here now. So we might as well start bloody enjoying it.
And what did the pressure data say? It said The atmosphere is very dense at the surface. It crushes down on the instrumentation. What is the temperature? The temperature is... Oh no, that just says... The temperature is
toggle display when you click on a one.
It is 480 degrees.
You could cook a pizza. I assume that's Fahrenheit. No, that might be Celsius, you know.
I think it might be Celsius.
That is, you could burn a pizza very quickly.
Transmit some data. See how much we get from this bad boy.
Stick out your lipstick.
32... 48. So we're up to 80. And then another 18, so 98 from that.
Not bad. We're not recharging any of our... Oh no, we are, but very, very slowly.
So that's 98 plus, we'll get 24 for this. You're better at maths than me. 104.
What did you say, 88 plus 24?
98 plus 24 is 122.
22, yeah. See how I just mumbles along with you there. So I couldn't be bothered to work it out.
Plus another 70.
Oh, that's a nice
192.
Yeah. It's a shame. I'd love to be able to make something that could even get back.
Bollocks. I did that overwrote them when we landed on the surface, so we lost the ones from flight.
Mutt it.
192 overall. Plus... We'll probably make the money back from the probe from the part of the contract that we did complete.
About 20% of what we got back from Geordie Geordie Lab, even before it demolished itself. Oh well, that's back.
But here we are on Eve.
One last look before
Again
we jump back to Kerbal Space Command.
A Kerbin presence on the planet of Eve.
Very warm. It's very warm.
Let's quickly take a look at the science tree.
Let's get that spent before we wrap this one up.
We've got 1,108 science to spend. We've still got 100 and... Actually, I think we've slightly made a profit.
We have. We're at 100, I think 1.6 million when we first started.
So, we have made a profit, that's all right. Let's just make sure we haven't got anything we can take advantage of here. No, there's no science missions coming on there. But, you know, we've completed scientific data from the surface of Eve, we've completed land on Eve, that's it. We got orbit around Eve earlier on.
Aye.
Research and development.
Oh, you went a bit Northumbrian there.
Well, I am Northumbrian.
Yeah,
Precision propulsion. Yeah.
That's not exciting.
Precision engineering. It does give us the hex, which is a nice...
We are doing lots
nice
of probey stuff, so it would maybe make sense to get a slightly better probe core.
How much are these costing? These are costing 300, so we'll be able to go down that line. Nuclear propulsion. Right. So we have 900 left. I've took them. Oh, there's also supersonic flight. I missed that if you want to experiment with planes.
I'd like to at some point, but we haven't really found much use.
You can also use them as shuttle components.
Aye. Are you any good at making shuttles?
No.
Me neither. Next.
High-powered electrics. That gives us the Giganta solar array.
I do love it.
I do like it. And the big battery bank.
Yeah. Fuel cells.
Fuel cells. Never used fuel cells, I have to be honest with you. And I believe that's thermal control systems. Electronics. It gives us the seismic accelerator. Another science experiment. Always useful.
Yep.
And a small communitron.
Aye, the nice little sky dish. I like that.
Oh, the unmanned tech gives us the Octo 2, which is also nice, actually. It's got prograde, retrograde, radial, and normal altitude holds.
And it's nice and thin
and
as well.
It's nice and thin. That's really good.
We could send science people up with one of them.
And they'll have a lot of functionality. I'm tempted by that. I really am.
Right,
Just
cool.
putting it out there. Science tech, that'll give us... Ooh, surface scanning and survey modules.
Are we really at the point where we're thinking about like refueling and scanning planets yet, mining?
That costs 5. For 800 of our 900, we could start our mining operation.
No, because we need to get the other constituent parts around it first.
Yeah, I'm looking at the advanced science tech, which gives you the drill, the converter. And
Yeah,
the small
but the
holding tank.
tier below, we've got to unlock 3 technologies to get the requisite ones to get the drilling technology. Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, there's still
No. Oh yeah, you do. Okay.
bits, yeah.
But it's interesting. It's the first part. Heavy landing gears. Again, not too fussed about. Advanced aerodynamics. We do get bigger. What do you call
Fairings.
them? Fairings, that's it. We'll get bigger fairings.
do
I
love
know
a
you like
fairing.
fairings, and we'll get a Mark III cockpit, and we'll get, some good shuttle parts actually if we wanted to make a shuttle.
Like a bigger one.
Mm-hmm.
We're not very good at making smaller ones yet, though.
High altitude flight, we need to get the supersonic flight before we got there. Composites, some the inline clampetron, and some fairly useful bits and bobs.
If we still had Geordie Lab, that would be great to make a little shuttle that could dock with it.
Nuclear propulsion could be interesting, although really we do need to go a bit further down the aerodynamics mode to use the nuclear engines effectively, because they use liquid fuel only now.
Yeah, so we actually need the spaceplane parts.
The alternative is to empty the oxidizer out of tanks. It saves you a lot of weight, but I don't like the idea of like the extra weight from the tank itself when you could be using spaceplane parts.
Yeah.
And that's about all she wrote. Can I go ahead and say we'll take unmanned tech?
Go on.
Get the Probodyne Octo 2.
Okay.
We can afford 2 more. With a little bit left over. Shall we take... No, we'll not do the scanning just yet. We'll wait until we've got all the prerequisites, shall we?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, there was more science equipment, wasn't there?
So...
Aye.
Well, the old seismic accelerator.
Yeah. You need to spend science to make science.
So we've got high-powered electrics, baby. If we're going to be replacing Geordie Lab...
We'll want the big old,
big
solar
solar
panels on
panels.
it. Yeah, that makes sense.
And Geordie Lab, of course, would benefit from having the additional science equipment. And we'll get even stick an Octo 2 on it, and we could send it without a pilot. And just have a scientist on board. Then we wouldn't have to worry about that return journey.
That sounds very good. Yeah, I think that's a plan. Nice. That was quite expensive in science terms.
It was, but we're closing out the tree. We're getting there. And I'm confident with the probe setup that we've got, we can probably visit further afield than we have done. And I don't know about you, I've been to Eve, I've been to Juno.
It's true.
I've been to the moons of Eve and the moons of Juno, but I've never been beyond.
I agree.
It could be interesting.
You know what? The lathe system is something I've always wanted to see since I first started playing the game. I never have. Oh, Joule, sorry.
The Joule system.
Aye. Always wanted to go and visit lathe.
Why is that?
Just looks nice.
And Joule's got a lot of moons, which is cool. Do you know where I've always wanted to go? Dres. And do you know why I've always wanted to go to Dres?
Why is that?
Because Dres has a system of asteroids surrounding it.
That sounds interesting. Never really looked. It's very brown.
It is very brown. There we go. It's got a bit of white on it. It's a very small planet, and it was first considered to be a dwarf. It's a little bit like Pluto, only not where Pluto should be.
No, Elo would be Pluto, surely.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Geordie Space Program. We're going to continue to muse over where we shall go next, and what we shall do next, and how we will go about it. And in the meantime, if you'd like to like our channel, or like our video, or subscribe to our channel, or go to our Facebook page, or look us up on Twitter, then all those beautiful details will be on your screens as I am signing off with my dulcet tones. Thank you very much for watching.
Goodbye!